And it's awesome to see him holding up the happy sign when he comes out.
Oh, he does it. He does the actual happy sign.
Yeah, he does.
I love it.
He does. Yeah, he does that. And then you got Bam Bam Bigelow.
I understand that.
I'm Bam Bam is more well known in WWF than he was WC. He had a little run WCW, but my point, he did when he was with DDP and Canyon. They were New Jersey Triad.
Yeah, that was WCW, right?
That was WCW.
Okay.
My point, though, is Bam Bam a little bit more well known in WWF. So I think there's another WC. Let me get to it and stop. There's another WCW guy I think that should be in this pack instead.
No, please, yeah.
Then you had Bam Bam. You had Lord Steven Regal. Okay,
of course.
I know why Steven Regal's there because he works WWE. Yeah. Fit Finlay, the Belfast Bruiser. Are you kidding me? Fit Finlay, okay, he was good in WCW. He was all right. He was never champion. But out of everybody in WCW, you choose Fit Finlay and Steven Regal because I understand they work for the company. You can pay them their royalties. It's not as bad as somebody else. So does DDP. And you ain't got to pay Bam Bam. God rest his soul because he's not here.
Well, you got to pay his estate. He still has family.
I know, but still. But WCW, where is the other packs I want to see?
Well, who would you put in this?
Big Papa Pump.
Okay.
It's got the Steiner brothers as a tag team.
I would love to see
Would have been awesome.
That would have been cool.
Amazing. Steiner brothers as a tag team.
You know, we haven't seen a Steiner brothers pack ever.
No, Harlem Heat. I would have loved to see that.
I would have liked to see that.
Not just Booker T. I want to see Harlem Heat.
I would have liked to see Booker T.
Booker T would have been good too.
The WCW version.
What about? I've got one logical one that would be amazing. What about the Four Horsemen? Let's have Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, and the Andersons. Let's have Arn. Maybe not Ole, but let's have Arn Anderson and Tully and Barry Windham. They're in the WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah. You can't put them in this game? Of course you can.
Yeah.
That would have been great. You know, I'm not Ole Anderson because that'll never happen. But why can't you do that?
Yeah.
That would have been a great tag. That would have been a great group to put in. That's WCW to me.
See, I would have liked to see Lex Luger.
Lex Luger, sure. Okay, Lex Luger's fine. No, Lex Luger's fine. There's so many people, WCW guys. I can't believe I'm saying the Dungeon of Doom. How much you say?
Oh my gosh! You know how cool that would be to have a Dungeon of Doom.
The Dangerous Alliance. Rick Rude is different because he was in WWE.
But all those guys were at one point in WWE.
Right. But WCW, I want the Steiner brothers together would be one I really like to see.
I would like to see
instead of the guys you.
I'd like to see Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko
because we've never seen a Dean Malenko in a game.
And guess where he works? WWE.
Yeah,
he's backstage.
That's why I want to see it.
Dean Malenko would have been good.
Well, they're going to make an ECW pack next.
You can't do a Benoit, which I understand completely.
Of course.
It would have been great to have him in it, but it's fine. Another one, WCW. Booker T, WCW would have been good because he was heavyweight champion.
Jeff Jarrett, if you want to.
Jeff Jarrett, I know he's got something that he's doing some other wrestling promotion right now.
What, they can't pay him a little bit of royalties?
Not when you got people in a house you can pay for a cheaper price.
I guess you're right on that.
Oh, I'm right. But there's other people. Eric Bischoff. Yeah, give me an Eric Bischoff.
What, as a manager?
As a manager, yeah. Give me Mean Gene.
What do you want? What do you want? Buff Bagwell next?
No, I don't buff. I
want some Conan. You want what?
Okay.
No, that was a joke.
I'm glad you actually brought that up. What about the Flock? No, that would have been
Raven would have been good. I would have liked to see Raven.
The Kidman.
Yeah.
And Conan too much.
Goldberg. That's what I'm really surprised about. Goldberg was not part of the WCW pack. Why?
Because you got to pay him money, and you can pay your people in house better when you can pay them cheaper than the guys that want a lot of money.
Yeah.
Goldberg wants a lot of money to get his royalties. But there's other WCW guys I would add it.
Yeah.
Besides Fit Finley.
Yeah, I mean, I know Dean Malenko would have been a good one. I mean, he does work, like you said, he works for the WWE. So,
what about, I hope someday they go this far back. I want to see an NWA pack. I want to see a Nikita Koloff.
But that'd be tough.
No, it wouldn't. You pay them the royalties. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
Nikita Koloff. Some of these guys aren't even around. Harley Race.
Some of them own that stuff. They own all their stuff.
Right.
So, and it might be hard to track them down.
A Ricky Steamboat. I mean, I know there's been a Ricky Steamboat, but back in NWA, you could do a Ricky Steamboat. You could do a Magnum TA.
That would be cool.
Which would be really cool.
Awesome.
That's my point. You could do some WCW.
See, I want to see like what you were talking
Fernandez,
to JP about.
Boogie Woogie Man.
I want to see what you and JP were talking about, an 80s pack. I would like to see that.
Let's do an 80s pack. Let's do a 90s pack.
Yeah.
Let's do a Brother Love.
Now you're going too far.
No, I'm being serious. Let's do a 90s pack with the Akeem the Twin Towers.
That would be awesome.
You already got the one-man gang comes out. He came out, what was the pay-per-view he came out? I was watching WrestleMania 17. I thought there was another one. But the Twin Towers, you could have a pack for them. Slick Rick.
Oh, man, that would be so
That's
cool.
what I'm saying. WCW, you had Doom, the tag team with Ron Simmons and Butch Reed.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Doom. Yeah.
I mean, and to me, Bam Bam Bigelow, WWF, I would have done, what's the other guy's name I'm thinking? Big Van Vader was more WCW than Bam Bam.
Yeah.
I would have done Bam Bam.
Let's see the dynamic dudes.
There you go.
They both work in WWE.
I wouldn't do dynamic dudes, but that would be funny. I just Fit Finley, though.
Look, I see why they did it, because Fit Finley hasn't been in the video games for a while. They wanted to give him a reason.
For WWE.
Wanted to give, but I think what it is that they wanted to give these guys a chance in the video games, and instead of going out and asking all these other people, they asked in-house first. I bet if Fit Finley, William Regal said no, they would have paid royalties for someone else. They would have.
Next year, I would like to see in the game. I would like to see an 80s pack, a 90s pack. I would like to see an AWA pack, even maybe.
Whew.
Or maybe not AWA, because I know Vern Gagne. Oh, WCCW that we talked about. Have the Von Erich brothers, the Freebirds.
I would love to see that.
Where's the Fabulous Freebirds pack at? I'm saying, I would love to have a Fabulous Freebirds pack.
I'd love to just see a rivalry between them. If they could do a rivalry with those two, the Von Erichs and the Fabulous
Well, that's what I'm saying. In the game, though, have a 80s pack, have a 90s pack, have a 2000 pack, have a 2010 pack.
I think the reason is...
And then you can do, different guys that... Where I know it's because you don't play... Some people don't want the royalties, and they don't want anything to do with WWE.
Well, yeah.
And I understand that.
Well, it's also that you have slots in the game that you can only fill up so many slots.
Right. Like this year, you can only do 25. Years past, it's been like 50.
Yeah, but you can't do that anymore.
Well, and that's something they'll fix for next year.
Yeah, they said they had a limit this year. They had to have a limit.
And we talked about that, but we'll go into my career mode. I just got done with the game. It made me skip from year 8 to year 15 after I won the heavyweight belt.
And why
the
is
WWE Championship. The story mode is very limited this year. They've got a lot to work on, but it's a good start in the right direction. Like I said, I was there really 8 years, 15 years is what it says, and it skips to the end of the it skips to WrestleMania, and you have a retirement match against up-and-comer or Daniel Bryan or some other jobber, some other B-plus player, or a B- player. That's going to be in the vocabulary.
No, it's not.
But anyway, we had that type of match against one of those guys, and I win the match, but it's my last match. So I go into retirement. They play a screen of all the belts I've won. I won an NXT belt, the World Heavyweight Championship belt, and the WWE Championship. And Mr. Money in the Bank, which I never got to cash in.
That's it?
I won Mr. Money in the Bank. I never got cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, which
That's wrong.
Killed me.
Yeah.
But it really bothers me that the game, you don't get to fight for the U.S. belt, the Intercontinental belt, or maybe I didn't get the right story.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different options you can choose, but the options they give you are kind of stupid. You can say Vicky never talked to me again or something else, but they only give you 3 pay-per-views a year until you get to the last year. Then you get to choose 4. Okay, you don't wrestle the whole year, but they give you tune-up matches in between these pay-per-views, and they don't really matter. They give you a tune-up match or a dark match to wrestle.
A tune-up or a dark match?
Yes, unless you're a champion, then they give you a chance to defend the title. If you don't defend the title, they strip you.
Whoa! If you don't defend the title, they strip you. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's the game.
All right.
But anyway, so if you're playing WWE 2K, I would say, unless you're trying to get the trophy, I would say go ahead and export all your guys, make your guy up, put him into the game, and then start your universe and your showcases.
Yeah.
Finish your showcases and then start playing.
Okay.
The universe. I would say stick to the universe because the universe is pretty cool. I haven't really. I'm putting everybody together now.
I'm not a big fan of the universe. Not in the one I'm playing right now.
And by the way, I find that not only did they add the WCW pack, but the Hulk Hogan packs you could download now.
I just got that, yeah.
I downloaded it. You also had Page you could finally download. I downloaded Page. And there was one more, right? No, that was it.
That was it, yeah.
Okay.
The Accelerator.
And Steam was already downloaded for me.
Yeah, for me too, yeah.
But the thing with this game is when I downloaded Paige, I went to go see if I can't play it as Paige. You can't play as Paige.
Why?
She can be a manager. Like if you go to play one-on-one, in my game, I downloaded her, but the only place she wouldn't come up underneath download superstars. And she wouldn't come up anywhere else I saw her. Maybe I missed her.
Did you look in Divas?
I looked in Divas. I didn't see her there. And when I went to add a manager, she was there in Divas.
Well, that's wrong.
So I don't know if she's only a diva as a manager instead of being in the wrestling. Well, I've got to go back and dig into it, but I'm going to try to.
Yeah, because that's... They're talking about, you get to play as her. Then why...
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But, yeah, I don't have her. But anyway, I added her to my faction.
Of course you did.
She is now our manager of Bosom Dallas.
Cool.
Yeah. Me, Bo Dallas, and of course, Damian Sandow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm going to restart. I'm going to start over because I've got one of our favorite listeners I'm going to download. I'm going to make you up and put you as a manager.
Oh, come on.
All right, I'll make you a short midget that you get beat up.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm just kidding. And I'm going to get JP's character download. We'll all be on the game.
John
and start our universe. Yes, John Justice.
John Justice.
But anyway, that's your WWE 2K15 update. The game's not that bad. It's really not. There's a lot of stuff they need to work on for next year.
Well, it's like you said, it's a stepping stone in the right direction.
Absolutely. Speaking of stepping stones, Jericho opened up Raw this week from Detroit, Michigan.
Down.
I hear you.